You were asking me a bunch of questions. What's going on your end? Is there anything that you wanted to cover before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big one for me is now all of a sudden having a totally different outlook to potentially selling within the next year. And so that all of a sudden makes your outlook to how you're going to run your business totally different. So generally in the fall, what I'm hyper focused on is product development. And, I'm still working on a handful of products, which are going to be easy wins. So, making a truck tent, not just for a Ford, but also a Dodge, like that's an easy win that has relatively low risk. But shelling out $50,000 into a brand new product where maybe I'm 50-50 on that product being a home run, I don't not want to necessarily take that risk where if it fails, I get all the downside. And if it is a success, the new buyer will get all the upside. So things like that this time of year have really changed for me, where I'm not hyper-focused necessarily on product growth, just because it doesn't make a lot of sense to be making a lot of big bets on products if you're thinking about selling in the next year. So I think that's been kind of the biggest mind shift for me, and now focusing on harvesting the business a little bit more. So refining ad campaigns, going through all of our listings. So that's kind of my goal, my team's goal right now for this quarter is just going through all of our listings and improving our photography, making sure the resolution's correct and not having these big narrow images that don't take up all the real estate on Amazon, going through all our listings, doing some more giveaways to help boost our rankings. And when we're number 3 or number 4 for a product search term, getting it up to number 2 or 1. So it's going through all that harvesting stuff that goes with maximizing profitability in a company.
And it's interesting because we did an episode about should you sell your business or not sometime in the last couple of years, and you were like, maybe you should think about holding on to this thing. We kind of
when
reflecting.
Multiples were 3x.
Yeah, and so you think is 4x the differentiator for you? Is it at 4x?
I think 4.5x is the over/under.
4.5x, yeah. We're not quite there yet on what these aggregators are paying.
It's pretty close.
It's getting closer. Yeah.
4.5x, I think, is definitely possible. Again, we have an ECF, or not an ECF member. Shout out to Andrew there. Free plug. We have a premium member who just sold his business, one SKU, been around only for 2 or 3 years. Nice, healthy business. And you got almost a 4x return, but very simple business. One SKU, I think, relatively risky. I think a more diversified product catalog and a little bit longer history behind it, definitely for something should be doable. Right this second, I think in a few months, 4.5x, I think very, very possible.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like things are trending that way for sure.